I can eat it. I don't care. I don't really care. Okay, I'll take it.
Kind of funny to say
Besides, I dropped
Oh, what's this?
No.
Like, hey, wait a minute.
Yes, that worked out really well.
Oh, shit.
Getting
Done
recorded
that.
while you're eating is kind of weird. This is like fetish stuff.
Well, yes. At least none of us are left-handed,
I know.
bumping into the other right-handed.
This is hilarious. Look at this shit.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Go big or go home.
Not too bad, actually.
Some Parmesan. Nice placement.
Alright.
She makes pretty good spaghetti.
She does.
You're saying that you're staying hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Nice segue.
Right.
What kind of news channel?
This just in, Carly's still hungry.
Carly's still
what do you have
hungry.
to say about that?
For modeling.
We're going to have some movie terminology and TV terminology,
I've been
so
afraid I'm gonna show.
I'll throw some of that terminology in there too.
Okay.
We're
So,
cheating the camera right now.
so all three of us are going to be at this workshop. And, William, I know you're going to be more about acting and that kind of stuff. But what, okay, so I have no idea about anything about acting.
Neither do
So
I.
just, right? So, like, give us like a little bit of a rundown of what you're going to be talking about, and just like what's important to you. What do you want to share with people?
Well, I mean, everyone starts from nowhere, and to be honest, a little bit about what Sherman had said when we were talking about putting this together. A lot of people in the industry, especially the acting industry, it's not like there's trade secrets, but a lot of people don't want to share information with you. And I've been doing this.
Right.
I've been modeling. It'll be since August of this year. Will be 4 years for me, but I didn't start acting until March of 2013, and I've done a lot in that short time. I'll admit, but no one was willing to help me out to figure out the rules, why you do what you do. Being an extra, there's no shame in that. If you're in LA putting background work on your resume, probably not a good idea. They'll laugh you out of the room. Anywhere outside of LA, do as much background work as you can. That's how I got that role as John Travolta's stand-in, because I've done so much background work already. I was a shoo-in for that gig. It's just baby steps. Going back to what Sharon was saying, you know, that 1 in 100,000 chance doesn't happen anymore. You have to do the groundwork first. You're in it for like a year, and then the next thing, people start seeing your face, and then maybe you get a SAG role, you know, Screen Actors Guild role, and after a handful of them, you get your SAG card, and then the sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's awesome.
What all is involved with getting that actually?
A lot of time, patience, and money and connections. They just don't hand them. They don't hand them out. I mean, you can do certain. You could do TV and commercials and things, speaking roles even, for 5 years and not get one SAG voucher. You need 3 SAG vouchers to be eligible to get your SAG card, and then depending on where you try to get your SAG card, you need like $1,500 or $3,000. There's a lot to it, and I'll be covering a lot of when you should go for your SAG card, how to get those SAG roles, background, on-set etiquette. I mean, photo shoots are fun and all, and you still use the same principles that you do from photo shoots as you do in video shoots.
Okay.
But there's just a lot I've learned, and be glad to pass it on.
So I'm kind of excited about what I'll be doing at the workshop. Haven't really talked about it too much, but one thing I noticed that a lot of models need is facial expressions. You'll have a great body, great pose, and the face just like, oh my god, like do something with that face besides go, you know. And a lot of times when I work with people, they kind of give me this weird look like, why are you telling me to do this? Like, why do you want me to become an actor for 30 seconds and give me happy? Instead of a smile, you know, I'm actually trying to teach happy, which is really hard to do. So that's something I want to work in there too, is a little bit in the facial expressions. So William, what'd you do today?
I drove all the way from Cincinnati, Ohio to Chicago to do a $1,000 gig and come back, and yes, you know, it might have cost me $100 in gas to and from, but it was worth it, and I do other things while I'm there, networking, So each trip I make, I do a lot with it, and then stop in here to do this because this needs to be talked about.
Yeah. I think this is, like, one of the most important things I think with this workshop is trying to get models to, or help them to stay hungry. Speaking of hungry, I'm hungry right now.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna keep on eating. Don't mind us.
Helping models stay hungry and stay in the business for longer than 6 months is something that I'm really trying to do right now, and helping them get gigs and all that kind of stuff.
So you've seen a pattern, then you're saying. So after like 6 months, 9 months, you start seeing people drop like flies.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, like, they'll shoot a portfolio, they'll shoot like 3 shoots, and then all of a sudden they're done. Like, what's up with that?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a 1-year business or a 3-year model. This is, we're looking at 5-10 years before you're actually going to be making decent money that you can actually live on.
Mm-hmm.
And any business that you build is going to be the same way. Doesn't matter if you're doing modeling or anything. I mean, you ask any business owner how much it took or how long it took to get where they're at today, and they're most likely going to tell you 5 years. 3 to 5
3
years.
to 5 years, they're in the red for a while until they get into the black.
That'd be awesome.
So, talk to me a little bit about your magazine. Like, what are you guys doing right now?
Embrace Beauty is a start from the ground mag, and we're completely revamping it at the moment to include fashion, and we're going more into the fashion world instead of the photography world only, which was a big step for Leigh and I. So I have been holding shoots for that I'm currently styling. So basically we're just trying to make a name for ourselves within the fashion world. We do have a couple shows. I'm actually going to be going to Florida on July 25th.
Nice.
To go to a fashion show that we're VIP of, so that's exciting.
That's awesome. So what's okay? So yes, we're going to this workshop. We're doing this whole big thing about staying hungry, which is
I'm staying hungry. I don't know about y'all.
is like, what has kept you, like, what have you done that you went from, because you came up pretty quick.
I did. I started 2 years ago with my first shoot with Sherman and with you.
Feel
So
sorry for you.
as a
Right.
test shoot, and during that test shoot I was asked where I want to go with it from Sherman, and I wasn't really sure, so I went home and I thought about it and I created goals for myself. Like, what I'm going to talk about, I think, is like setting those goals and knowing how to set those goals and finding your niche within the modeling world.
And I think
Because mine's definitely like high fashion. Like, I walk in shows, and I like all my shoots I do is kind of fashion, like inspired by me. Like, a lot of times I'll bring like an idea to Sherman, which I have a whole bunch of ideas for that thing for you, but for the girls. But like I that's what I'm at. Yeah, and then also
No,
like
trying
the
to help.
importance of working with like having like a designer in your port. I think that's really gotten me really far.
Like every shoot
Really
you do
quick.
is-
Every shoot, I always try to. If I can, I always want to work with a designer because I know that's almost like a guaranteed publish somewhere.
well, that is just plain good networking.
And I am like awesome with that. For some odd reason, I am crazy good at that. But and also, I think models need to learn the importance of no, and it's not a scary word. Because I have these models texting me and message me all day long while I'm at work and stuff like, oh, well, that person said no. Okay, go to the next person. You know, and it's like these girls get so discouraged. And then I pass it on to Sherman, and I'm like, I don't know what to say to this broad. Like, what do I say? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm called broad, but.
I like that. That's one of my favorite words.
Is it?
Well, let me ask you this, Carly. In those 2 years since you started shooting, how many shoots do you think you have done? Have you ever counted?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I'm just curious how much it averaged out, like per shoot, per month or whatever. You think of average maybe one a month?
One a month.
Where a lot of people you see them shooting 2-3 times a month.
Yeah, I don't though.
That's because you're saying no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you can't shoot more than that, but like you're definitely using discretion of who you're shooting with. And
I am. Yeah, and I want certain things. like if I'm gonna work with a designer, like this one designer of this bathing suit one I just worked with, she really likes Sherman's work, so I brought it to Sherman. So, you know, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. I think girls just need to find their niche in the world and then they'll go far.
So
I did.
The next question is, how do you figure out what your niche is?
I think,
How did you find your niche?
how did I find my niche? Because my face is extremely hard to shoot. And I got fed up with photographers that did not know how to shoot me the way that I wanted to be shot and how I needed to be shot. And like I figured, okay, that's high fashion. And that's where I found my niche. And then I love to work with, I love to meet new designers because I'm so into fashion, it's ridiculous. So.
I don't think a lot of people are honest enough with themselves to realize that, okay, so I have this kind of a look
Yeah.
to go for this.
And maybe that would be a good thing to talk about, you know?
To figure out.
Because I'm not like pin-up-y and like that kind of look.
Well, I mean, maybe too, you can focus on, a lot of models don't understand why should I do runway, and their second question or second word out of their mouth is I'm too short for runway.
too short,
I hate
exactly.
both of that, and it's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not. If you can rock some heels, you're good. Because that designer, even if like, designers look for really different things than what girls think that they look for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I work with designers that I never really thought I would work with that, you know, have all these tall girls in their show, and I'm literally the shortest one, but they like something about my face. Or
There
they
you
like
go.
how my shoulders fit in their dress. You know what I mean? So I think that, you know, girls just need to, and guys too. I mean, are guys like that? Like are guys like that?
Kind of.
Like in the modeling world?
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason to do runway, 99.98% of the time, runway's not going to pay. You may get an article of clothing from it, but it's to network and it's to gain confidence.
Exactly.
To get out there, you know, law of averages, all the shoots I've done, all the runway shows I've done, I expect about a 1 out of 4 dropout rate, meaning I get nothing from my effort.
Yep.
Runway, photo shoots, and especially in the beginning, they don't know to tag you, you get no images back from it. But you go out and do
Exactly.
it so that you get the confidence. And
To
it's,
keep
it's
doing
yeah,
it.
it's baby steps, and that's
It's baby steps.
you know, talking about, you know, staying hungry. I mean, you have to go through those steps. Some people are gifted with, you know, a female might be 5'10", 5'11", and have that perfect Barbie figure, but most people aren't like that.
Yep.
So you go out there, you find your niche. Who cares if you're 5'4" or 5'5", whatever. You go out and do runway shows, or at least put in for them.
The worst thing they can do is say no.
Exactly, and not to be afraid of that word.
Yeah.
You know?
I just got shot down hardcore by a magazine. So probably shouldn't have that on the video, but it's okay. They said no, and I'll move on to the next.
You miss 100% of those shots that you don't take. So you have to just keep taking the shots. And I mean, especially for indie, you know, you've got Midwest Fashion Week around here.
Right.
Oh my gosh, it's the biggest show around here, and it gets you a lot of exposure. I mean, I know they have a height requirement. That doesn't mean you can't try out for it.
If you have the face they want, they will take you. I don't care how tall you are. Like, if you have the charisma and the face, I don't think they'll care.
Yep.
About staying hungry. It's like you have to keep on going. If you find yourself swimming in the same fishbowl, let's say 9 months, a year later, and you aren't even looking at your next steps, then you're not broadening your horizons enough. Not everyone has the same opportunity or drive to do it, but if you say you want to be a model or an actor or whatever, you need to go out there and actually do it.
And give it your 110, not just 100.
I want to.
Personally.
So I run into a lot of models that say they want to, but are they actually hungry enough to go where they need to go? I mean,
Nope. And there's some that just fall by the wayside, and you or I or Carly or anyone else can't push them and have them, you know, want to do it. Especially if they come to the workshop,
Right.
it will give them that extra spark they need, I think, because I get excited when I start talking about the gigs that I've put in for, the roles that every day on set, I talk to John Travolta or Chris Maloney from Law & Order SVU. I talk to people or shop with people I never even thought I would ever meet. And here you're shaking hands with them, taking pictures with them, and then they're seeing, that's the only opportunity you're going to get to show somebody who can do the work. And do that in front of them. The directors, assistant directors, producers are all like, oh, I see what I want to do.
I think hard work is that.
There's so many sites can't get to.
Mm-hmm.
I focus on what I can do and when I can do it. But even in the Midwest area, you don't give up on the acting around here. There's enough movies that have come to Ohio. I've probably been in at least 6 feature films in Ohio. Good spots too. I mean, I made the trailer for Divergent when it shot there, but Hunger Games, Vampire Diaries, all that stuff. So you have to be willing to travel at some point. But even if you can't travel locally, there's enough stuff that comes here and in Chicago. I mean, Chicago's only a couple, 3 hours from right where we are. There's just a lot of stuff up there. And I'll stay hungry, and you don't if you put those blinders on, say I want to stick with high fashion runway stuff. Good luck. I mean, maybe you have that look to do it, and maybe you can do it in New York here or there, but you have to be willing to do those stuff. Promo modeling, I can talk stories on promo modeling. You have to put food on the table. You can't sign with an agency and sit back and let them find you work. I've got a network of agents that look for work all the time, and for one in India or anything, they're killing some of the other agencies. They give me a lot of auditions and some paid commercials. Yeah, because I don't know, sure, I think for someone who's got, let's just say, the limited terrain of Amish country to shoot in, you've got some amazing images just from around here. I mean, I know you travel, and there's other places that.
Yeah, what's really cool about this workshop is me and William and one lucky model are gonna go to Vegas and shoot where?
We're gonna be shooting at Red Rock Canyon, the Painted Desert, the Alley of Lost Neon Signs,
Amazing.
and we're gonna have a special guest that we cannot name, who recently moved to Vegas and is probably arguably my favorite model. Period.
So what are we gonna do in Vegas? Like, how long are we gonna be there? We don't know for sure yet, but thinking maybe like 1 or 2 days.
Oh, at least I think it'll take at least 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 on the outside. Just to get set up, see the different because that's a prelude to part 3.
Part 3.
Can't even talk that long.
We can't go